Alrighty, we are at the track this morning for the very first time in, God, what has to be 5 or 6 months now. Very excited to be at the track, I can't lie. There are some unfortunate conditions we have, which we'll talk about in a second, but we're here for some 400 meter repeats. Nice little workout, anywhere from 24 to 32 reps. These will be in 3 sets of 8 reps. Around 120 is the goal pace, which is like 520 pace. Not super fast, not super slow, but really 2 reasons for that. We have very little rest between these reps. We're doing them in lane 8, so the rest is literally going to be the jog from the finish line to the start line. This is going to be anywhere from like 15 to 30 seconds of rest. So like I said, not a long amount of rest. And the other reason why they're at 120 instead of something a little bit faster is it's very windy out. I don't know how well you'll be able to tell, but it's, I believe, 16 mile per hour winds right now, like 30 mile per hour gusts. It's not too great. Very tough, especially being by myself. But that being said, this is a great little workout to get the mental right before this race on Friday. So I'm excited for that at the very least. And we're back at the track. It's not often I get to come to the track. I do love every track session I'm able to do. It's unfortunate I'm by myself, but there's not much you can do about that. So hopefully this workout goes well. Yeah, Jimmy T's on his way over. He's going to be filming as much as he can, probably like the first half of the workout, and then I'll have to update you guys when I finish the workout. So gonna get ready to go and get this bad boy started. Jimmy ended up having to leave right after the, I want to say, 5th rep of the 2nd set, which I'm very appreciative for Jimmy. I mean, you guys shout out to Jimmy T, because he's the best, man. Comes out and films everything, even when it's freezing out, 16 mile per hour winds, just brutal conditions, but super grateful for him. And yeah, it was a rough workout, and I don't think that it would have been nearly as bad if it wasn't so windy. Like, genuinely, I was going through it. The first 50 meters was just head-on wind, so it already was a rough start to the rep, and then the last straightaway, I was just getting hit at an angle. So the reps were pretty brutal. I think I was averaging 121, 122 for majority of them. I had a couple 120s, but not nearly as many as I'd like, of course, and the heart rate didn't even get up past 177, I want to say. So it's not like I was struggling. I didn't even feel like any lactic or anything. But there were times when I just felt like I was moving in slow motion, which is pretty tough. So not the end of the world. I'm happy to get 3 sets in, 24 reps in total, 6 miles of work. It's not too bad, but oh man, just hopefully can recover pretty well from this and get in a pre-meet on Thursday, I suppose. We're going to do a little shakeout later today on the treadmill, 20 minutes easy before work, just because it's still going to be insanely windy all day. And then ice up later tonight, rest, recover, get ready to go for the meet on Friday. It was great to be back on the track, but yeah, that one was tough, to say the least. Like, mentally, it was very draining.
Not too bad. Left. That's what I was trying to say. I just couldn't get it off my tongue.
I was planning on running 30 minutes after work today, but I got home and my parents said, hey, we're leaving for dinner in 20 minutes, so only ended up able to do 15 minutes on the indoor bike, and then next thing you know, I'm just shoving fajita veggies down my mouth at a little Mexican restaurant we went to, so that was great. Food was fantastic. That being said, I am exhausted now, so I'm gonna head to bed. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. It was an absolutely gorgeous morning out today. 35 degrees, little to no wind. One of those mornings that I was wishing I had a workout today because it would have been perfect to go do on the track, but unfortunately that's not what the goal was for today, just an easy recovery run. And one of the things that I have been looking into is what the weather is going to be like in St. Charles or St. Louis when I'm down there Friday for the race, and it looks toasty. I believe it's going to be pretty high winds and around 65 to 70 degrees around when I'm going to be racing. So one thing that I'm going to try to do today, tomorrow, and Thursday is jump in the hot tub for 20 to 30 minutes just to not exactly acclimate to the heat, but if it helps at least like 1 or 2% to get me prepared for how hot it's going to be for the race. Like, you got to understand, 30-35 degrees is what I've been running in for the past month, 2 months, if not colder. So it's going to be very difficult to be ready to go for a race that, is something around 65 to 70 degrees. So I'm definitely going to do anything I can to get my body prepared for that. And the hot tub is probably the best tool I have for that reason. So going to try to do that the next couple days, and recovery is going to be really the biggest thing as well. Another chilly morning today, which honestly was quite nice. It was around 30-35 degrees with very little wind, and I really would not mind these mornings if it weren't going to be so warm on Friday. It just makes me very nervous. I really don't have a great way of acclimating to the heat. I mean, I could try to layer up, but with only like 2 or 3 days of running layered, like, it's probably not going to do much.
Even the hot tub, like I said, it's probably not going to do much, but if it does anything, I would appreciate it. So got in the hot tub as well after the run, which was nice. And I think I might try to jump back into the hot tub later tonight before I go to sleep. That should help a little bit. And yeah, just a nice little chill day. Had work 2 shifts today. It's Wednesday, so nothing too crazy. Starting to think about what I need to pack and making a list for that. It's odd because I just made a list for my trip for Boston, and now I'm remaking a list for my trip to Missouri. I don't really travel all that much, so it's kind of weird that I am traveling as much as I am in the past, 2-3 weeks, but very exciting nonetheless. Obviously, I'm super excited to go down to Missouri, see all my friends, see my sister again, and my brother-in-law, and all that good stuff. It'll be just a really fun trip, I hope, obviously, as long as all goes well. And I'm just really excited to race, to put it simply. So we got a pre-meet workout in the morning tomorrow. I will be bringing my spikes too as well to put those on for the second part of it, because I didn't get to wear them on the workout on Monday. I just was kind of dead after running in the wind the whole time, so that should be good. And yeah, just hopefully I get some good sleep tonight and really focus on hydrating. I think drinking a lot of water these days leading up to the 10K is pretty important, so been drinking a ton of water today. I'll drink my carb mix drink, the Gatorade Endurance Formula, tonight and tomorrow night leading up to the 10K, and then go from there. But yeah, hydration is key for sure.
An absolutely beautiful morning out here at the track today. I think it's like 42 degrees perhaps, with pretty low wind, I think around 4 miles per hour, nothing too crazy. And just an absolute perfect day to get in a little pre-meet workout, which is what we're obviously here for. We got a very, very easy workout, just 2 miles of threshold with some 200s after. Those 200s I will be wearing my spikes for, which I'm very excited about, just because obviously, I'm gonna be wearing spikes tomorrow for the race, and I haven't worn spikes, like I said, in at least 1.5 years. So it'd be nice to just toss them on, get them moving, get the legs turning over, and go from there. But yeah, just a nice day to get the legs turning over, like I said. And really, this pre-meet is just to help me get ready for tomorrow, get my legs prepared. We haven't done much speed, obviously, being only 2 months really of doing work for running. So it's just one of those things where it's going to be a tough day tomorrow, to put it simply. But I'm very excited for it nonetheless, and hopefully all goes well. I get to see the boys tomorrow, or actually I get to see them today. I'm leaving after this workout, so that'll be nice. And it did start raining a little bit, which makes me a little nervous. Hopefully it doesn't just start downpouring. A little drizzle I can handle, but yeah, I don't want to ruin my camera or anything like that. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm gonna finish tying up my shoes and get ready for this first 2 miles, and then we'll kind of go from there. I'd be lying if I said the pre-meet this morning was perfect. I felt like it was a little tough going through the first 2 mile threshold, But looking at the heart rate data, it was pretty much spot on from what I was doing last week with the 6-mile threshold. So I don't know, I kind of feel like part of me, I didn't eat anything this morning, I didn't take caffeine, so maybe I just wasn't feeling 100% because I wasn't 100% prepared, if that makes sense. But the other part of me also thinks that, it's also the day before a race. I'm probably just a little nervous. I'm taking things a little bit harder than I need to. And at the end of the day, I got to get those nerves out of me, right? It's one of those things that I don't think ever really goes away. The first race of the season, the rust buster, if you will. And I mean, I haven't raced since November, so I'm very rusty, but I'm also very excited. And the 200s honestly went pretty well. I was very happy with those. Spikes definitely hurt my calves a little bit. Like, my calves are a little sore even now, but not the end of the world. And then obviously get in a quick hot tub session and start packing, getting ready to go. I got a little bit packed last night before I went to bed, and now I got about an hour and a half till I'm leaving, so I gotta get the rest of my stuff packed up and ready to go. I'm pretty much ready. I think that besides doing clothes, I have all the necessities I need. I'm borrowing Seb's racing shoes, so don't have to worry about bringing my own, which is really nice. Outside of that, I got my uni. I got everything that I need outside. I got my paper that I had to sign for the race because I have to make sure that I'm using NCAA legal shoes, which is very interesting, but not the end of the world. And yeah, get ready in a couple minutes here to start the drive down to St. Louis. Coffee Club fans will understand how big of an achievement this is. Shout out Tom Wang. I'd make a quick stop to vote for my local community members, government, school board, all that good stuff. But yeah, just want to make sure I'm being a part of the community, ensure a good future for the generations to come, and do my thing. But anyways, we're about to head out to St. Louis now. We got a nice little 4-hour drive. Don't really have anybody to film cinematics of us going there, but if I get a chance, I'll take a couple videos and then we'll see you guys in St. Louis. We made it into St. Charles, Missouri. We are stopped outside of an Aldi right now because I forgot not only oatmeal, which is crucial for tomorrow morning, but also I forgot protein powder, so I had to buy another one. Both of these, I mean, I'm gonna eat one way or another, so it's not the end of the world. Just annoying that I forgot both of them. We have it at the house. Unfortunate. That being said, it is pouring rain out. We were originally planning on running down at the Katy Trail, but me and the boys are actually gonna head to campus at Lindenwood, jump on the indoor track and do a couple easy miles up there. So gonna head over there really quick and then meet up with the boys.
It isn't Mr. Frick.
Whoa, 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 what were you gonna say?
Chat, we're gonna go run on the turf on our old stomping grounds. It's gonna be exciting.
Seb, are you excited?
I'm excited.
It's raining though. Ugh. It's raining, so I'm gonna leave the camera in the car, but we'll see you in about 20 minutes.
Bye vlog.
Bye vlog. Post shakeout, legs are feeling pretty good, nice and fresh for tomorrow. Not nearly as heavy as they did this morning, so that's really nice. But just got over to my brother-in-law's campus house. We're gonna be crashing here for the night, the next few nights actually. So just getting everything set up, probably gonna make dinner in an hour or so here, and then we are gonna game a little bit tonight, which I'm pretty excited about. But besides that, just prepare mentally for tomorrow, and yeah, just enjoy the night.
slept in just a little bit this morning. Didn't really have a reason to get up. I'm not doing a shakeout this morning. Just getting ready for the race itself, and I don't really have to leave here until I think 9:10-ish, so got a couple hours to mentally prepare, stretch out, get everything ready to go, which is really nice. I'm going to jump in the shower in a couple minutes here as well, just to wash off, get ready to go. I am going to be looking at the weather throughout the morning just to see what it looks like. It doesn't look great right now. I think 70 degrees by 10 o'clock. I race at 10:45, so it might be closer to 75 degrees on top of 14-mile-per-hour winds. So some of the things that I'm doing as like a precaution, if you will, is I'm drinking a lot of liquids, including my Element, and then I'm also going to be taking an SIS gel. This is the salted strawberry, which has electrolytes in it as well. So I'll take this probably either before the warm-up or right after the warm-up. I'm not sure. We'll see how I feel and go from there. But I know the big thing is obviously I don't want to feel dehydrated. I think I've done a good job at drinking a lot of liquid leading up to the race. Now I just need to focus on making sure that I maintain my electrolyte count and all that good stuff and just get ready to go. The other thing that I want to touch on is that I have to park a little farther away from the track than I'd like because I just am not going to pay for parking. We always just usually park in the neighborhoods, which is about a half-mile walk to the track, not a big deal. That being said, though, I'm probably going to have to warm up at my car because I don't have anybody there with me until the race gets a little bit closer. So I don't have anybody to wash my bag or anything like that. So I can't just walk into the track, drop my stuff off, and go run. So I'll probably warm up at the car, walk over to the track, check in, give my bag to Johnny or Seb, whoever gets there first, and then I'll start my dynamics and get ready to go. So I might have to warm up a little earlier. Not the end of the world, though. It's just something you got to do with conditions like this. So not the end of the world, like I said. But yeah, I'm just excited to race. So we'll see how the morning plays out.
We just made it back to my future brother-in-law's house, just finished taking a shower, wrapping everything up for the night, about to hit the hay. But before I go to sleep, I really wanted to just take a second to reflect upon what happened today because, yeah, a lot did happen. I feel like there's some stuff that I want to talk about, and I feel like after, hours of letting everything settle in and being able to digest the race that has occurred, I feel like I got a lot out of it and a lot I want to say, but I also feel like there's some things that I definitely need to just get off my chest. So first of all, there's really two main things that I'm always going to look at when I look back at this race. And number one is the fact that I don't know that I was quite ready to race this morning. Me and my coach have been talking about it a lot, and I think that a month or two more of training would have been a little bit more beneficial. Now, granted, I have been doing some pretty good workouts, but unfortunately workouts are just that. They can't tell you how you're going to do when race day comes. So I don't know that just, looking at workouts is the best way to do it, but at the same time, that's all you really have to gauge off of in this scenario. So not that it was exactly a bad thing. Sometimes racing too early is not the end of the world, but the other problem is obviously going to be the conditions, the weather. And looking at the weather today, it was just tough. Obviously, I talked about it all week, but the weather was going to get really hot. And if we just take a little deep dive into the weather today on the app, you'll see that right around 11:45 into 12 o'clock, it peaked at 80 degrees. And the real feel actually peaked right around race time as well. It peaked just after I raced actually, but obviously rising up to it. And not only that, but the wind today was absolutely brutal. If I jump over here, you'll see we were 14, 13 miles per hour, 12, 11, 12, up to 13. Not great, to put it simply. And unfortunately, those were the conditions and I have to deal with it. I couldn't change those conditions. It's tough because I went from running in 30, 35 degrees for the past 2 months to now running in 78 degrees during race time, if not a little bit warmer. But there's nothing I can do about that. There's nothing I can change about that. So both of those combined made for a really tough situation, obviously. I'm in a pretty bad spot. I don't have a ton of mileage behind me to rely on, and I just jumped 40 degrees, 50 degrees, even in the span of, 24 hours. The pre-meet workout I did, it was actually 40 degrees that morning, and it was beautiful, and then all of a sudden I'm running in 78, so even that wasn't going to be a really good opportunity to prepare for what was going to happen. So both of those things I could look at and be like, all right, well, I see this is why I had a bad race. But the thing that I really want to get off my chest is the fact that I don't even think that's the reason why I had a bad race. I don't think those two reasons are enough of a reason, combined or alone, to run a 37-minute 10K. There is really no reason why I should be running a 37-minute 10K when you break down the fact that it's basically 5:58-minute pace per mile. And obviously that is threshold pace, if not slower than threshold pace for me. So should this be happening? Of course not. Why did it happen? You could say, well, obviously the weather, the fact that I was not prepared is something that played into it. But I think the bigger thing, and the thing that I was really disappointed with myself, is that I think I just was mentally compromised going into the race. And maybe not going into the race, I felt good going into the race, but the start of the race, I looked down at my watch and I saw, actually I should pull my heart rate up right now. I looked down at my watch and I saw me jump up. If we look at my heart rate, you can see just the first few minutes. I mean, 2.5 minutes in, we're at 183, 184. So I'm 400 meters into the race looking down and I see 184 heart rate. And I was just like, well, this isn't great. As you can see, it hits all the way up to 189 less than a mile into the race. And I obviously can look at my heart rate and realize that I am working way too hard for a race that's 6 miles long. I need to obviously be a little bit more relaxed, but there's nothing I can do about that. The heat is obviously going to make my heart rate jump. And unfortunately, I think that kind of just broke me a little bit. And I mean, I wanted to drop out within the first 2 kilometers, to be quite honest. I genuinely thought I was going to just drop out after 5K. And I think the thing that I'm most happy about is that I was able to dig deep enough and find a spot to where I said to myself, you already lost the mental battle. You're running extremely slow. I was in last place from the start of the race. I dropped all the way back to last. I tried to run the 5:20 pace my coach wanted me to, stick in the back of the pack and go from there. The first mile, 5:18, the second mile, 5:33, and then the third mile dropped down to like a 5:58. I stopped recording mile splits after that. And I mean, there's nothing I can do once I'm already in that spot. It's pretty much chalked when you're running. So I kind of had to dig deep, and I did, and I found this spot where I said, well, if I'm already mentally compromised and I'm already suffering this much, the last thing I want to do is not finish the race. I hate the idea of DNFing. I think that there is a way to tactically DNF, especially if you're a professional runner, if it's taking too much of a toll on you, or if you're just mentally unable to, not mentally, physically unable to finish the race. If you're, puking, if you're about to pass out, you hurt something, pull something, all those reasons are reasons to DNF. But if you are just tired, if you give up, if it's too hot, I don't really think that is a valid reason to DNF, and I hate the idea of DNFing. So for me, the whole idea was, all right, I'm in this spot where I want to give up. I'm in last. I've seen people drop out in front of me. I'm getting lapped. I'm in the pain cave. A lot of people like to call it that. And it just got to the point where I finally said, this is insane. You need to lock in. This is not what we train for. You haven't done all this work, this years of mileage to just simply give up. And I am extremely proud of myself for finishing the race. It might have been the worst 10K performance at the Washington Distance Carnival. It was. I was the very last place on the heat sheet, not including the DNFs, of course. But it was the worst race of my life, probably, to be quite honest. I don't even think my half marathon was that bad compared to this. They might have been paced the same too. They might all be at 6-minute pace, which is hilarious to think about. But yeah, I mean, there's not much you can really take away from this. I think that you learn a little bit from every, race you do. And I think the thing that I learned from this race was just that the conditions killed me and I did not train enough, but once I was mentally compromised, I was still able to find a way back to finishing the race, because I just genuinely did not believe I was going to finish the race 2 to 3 kilometers in. So I'm just happy I finished the race. I'm very proud of that. And that's something I can take away from this race, is that, even if I did lose the mental battle, I couldn't keep going at the pace I wanted to, at least. I was able to fight back and find some peace in that. So it's a lot of learning to do still. I'm still a very young runner. I've been running all my life, obviously. I've been running since 5th grade, but you just learn so much more as you get older and as you mature. And, we're going to start marathon training and going into the fall. So there's still so much to learn, and I'm very grateful for that. I love the sport for that. And those are just my unfiltered, raw thoughts. This is not something I normally do, obviously. So you'll have to let me know if you guys enjoyed this. And yeah, I think I'm going to head to bed now because I'm exhausted. I think we're going to do a little bit of a long run tomorrow morning. We'll see how I feel. But yeah, it was a tough one this morning. It was a very tough one. But, the only unacceptable failure is the failure to learn.
I did not sleep very well last night. I woke up around 11:30, I want to say, after sleeping for maybe 3 hours. Tried to fall back asleep for about an hour and a half, couldn't, so I ended up staying up until about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Woke back up at 5. I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go start my day. So got up, had a little bit to drink, put the shoes on, went for a little 5-mile run that I just finished up with, and legs aren't feeling that great, unsurprisingly. I was stretching out and I was like, okay, let's see how I feel. Didn't feel that good. Maybe a full night of sleep, I probably would have felt better, but ended up just heading over to the track and doing a couple easy miles on the turf. Maybe I do my long run tomorrow, I'm not too sure, but I gotta pack everything up and get everything ready to go because I'm gonna be leaving today. Not sure what I'm doing exactly, but I'm gonna head over to Tea's for breakfast this morning, so I just wanna make sure I get all this packed up before I head over there.
What are we doing?
We're getting 7 Brew. It's free today. We're literally getting free drinks.
Can I do an iced chai latte with almond milk and caramel, please?
This is the latte, and then this is the chai.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It might be better than Starbucks. I think it's the caramel helps. I just love caramel so much.
I think that does
They
help.
gave some good caramel in that.
I know, they put a lot of caramel in here, which I'm not going to complain. If it was just chai, I'd put it on par with probably like a Dunkin'. Dunkin's is really sugary. I don't know. I think it's pretty good. I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
It's good. There he is.
Somebody ordered entire stone. Look, bro.
Alrighty, it is 1:30. I have the option of either heading home or going down to the property. Property is 2.5 hours from here. Going home is a 4-hour drive. I would go to the property, spend the night there, and then drive the rest of the way back home in the morning. But I'm kind of thinking I just might as well get the 4-hour drive done with and go straight home. So I don't know. I'm going to get on the highway and then decide from there. But I am leaning towards just driving straight home. I really just want to go home, do my laundry, sleep in my bed tonight, all that good stuff. And it'll just be nice waking up at home Sunday morning. So I'm leaning towards that right now, but I might change my mind and go to the property. I know my dad's there right now, so we'll see. But I just got to get on the road before I waste any more time. Three hours and 50 minutes later, we made it home. Oh my God, I'm so glad I decided to drive home. The moment I pulled into town, I was like, yeah, I definitely made the right decision. It's about 5:20. I'm gonna unpack the car, have some dinner, and then yeah, I think I'm gonna hit the hay. So that was a long drive. Ooh, new half tights. Love that. These are thinner than I was expecting. I like that a lot. Very nice, very nice. Normally on Sundays, I really like to take the day easy. I usually do, the rest of the mileage for the week if I can get my long run in on Saturday. Unfortunately, obviously no long run this weekend, so I was thinking maybe I would do one this morning, but I woke up feeling just pretty rough, honestly. Like, I finally got a good night of sleep, thankfully, but the body was pretty sore from obviously the race on Friday and then driving home Saturday afternoon. So I just woke up and thought it might just be for the best to take the day off. I'm actually gonna go to the gym, to be fair. Just try to get in a quick lift, stretch, and some core. But yeah, I just thought it'd be for the best to take the morning off and let my body relax. I really just need to roll out. I think that'll help a lot, to be honest. But yeah, head to the gym and get that done and then see where the day takes us. I've said it before and I'll say it again, but I gotta be more consistent when it comes to working out. Between how important core strength is for running and on top of how easy it is to prevent injuries when it comes to lifting, like it's just not something I can afford to be skipping out on. So gotta hold myself accountable, minimum 2 times a week, if I can 3, but yeah, seriously, gotta be better about it. I have needed to update my bib wall since last, October, and I've just been so lazy. I mean, as you can see, it is an absolute hassle to get all those bibs off the wall. Thankful I just finished it and I don't have to worry about it now for a while again. I am debating on moving it over to just like splitting it up and putting it all around the wall by my TV, just because I do love it being my backdrop to my computers, but at the same time I really can't see all of them, and there are some pretty cool bibs that I have, so I don't know, we'll see. Not really something I'm worried about right now. That being said, I am going to wrap everything up and get ready for bed. I still have like an hour or so before I head to bed, but just a lot to do to prepare for next week, so I'm going to end the episode here. Really hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode of the docuseries. Race week, an unfortunate race week at that, but it was a very fun trip to Missouri. I'm glad to be home, get to sleep in my own bed tonight, get a good a good night of rest, and see you guys again next week with a brand new episode of the docuseries. Any comments, questions, or concerns, drop them in the comment section down below. I'll see you guys next week. Take care. Love all things. Thanks for watching. Peace out.